Welcome to another Mindfulness Monday, and here we are. We're in the week. We've made it all the way to this world change. There's so much that we don't know. We've been sitting in almost like this jello of what if, this like stagnant energy of we don't know what's going to come. And I think the message that's coming in very clearly for me right now is very much this message that of is going to be something that happens for us not only this year but for the years coming forward, for the next 4 years. And the thing is what's really landing is learning the truth. So I know that this has come in a lot, and this learning the truth, this is now we're going to know good or bad what's actually happening. It's not a what if situation anymore. This is happening. um and it's gonna change, it's gonna morph, and it's going to change probably hourly. Look at what's happened with TikTok. So we're going to learn the truth and see how things go. And so it's really stepping into that understanding of your truth and what is aligning with you. We've also had this mindfulness card coming in for this week, and really this is coming in and as and asking you step into mindfulness, to really set your brain and understand what it means to be mindfully aware through the truths that are presented. I know sometimes it's easier to stay in the fluff and be excited and go with the whole collective of what everybody is thinking, but sometimes it's harder to hold on the hope that there's reasons for all of this happening. And so just really understanding how to bring yourself back into the present moment, to not worry so much about what is coming, but to learn the truth as it presents itself. And this is happening not only just on a worldwide level, but also in your daily personal life. So stepping back into the day to see how things aren't changing, to see how things have changed. And the thing is that what we're really calling all this mindfulness practice that's coming in, this learning the truth, that's going to create passion. That's going to create a passion and a drive for you, and it is not to be ignored. It's going to be really important for you to pay attention to what is driving your emotions and getting in check and figuring out how you can transform those emotions into action, to something that you desire. Now, this could be a desire for change. This could be a desire within your own life. This could be a desire in your community. Learning the truth and practicing the mindfulness will create the passion to birth the magical action, which is this is great because we're walking into the time getting closer to Imbolc. And so like birthing new and passions and creativity is wonderful. And so but it's important to understand that we have to know the truth of not only what's happening, but of our own feelings, of your own desires, to no longer ignore them, to tap into those emotions, to see what those emotions are asking you to look at, to turn those emotions and birth magic out of it, to birth creation, especially for any of the women. Like, we create out of nothing. We create from these two little things. We create entire worlds, and we can create effective change by exploring, by knowing the truth and exploring our desires and our passions of how we want to do this. I love how this has come in very much with the feminine energy of the owl and the masculine energy of the stag, to birth something new, to birth transformation, to birth change, which is what the dragonfly represents. And what does that all come down to? That all comes down to healing energy. This passion will lead to magic. Magic leads to healing. Mindfulness leads to healing. And that this is not just a healing individually, this is a healing of light, of love, of stepping in and knowing what we are worth, to step into that passion. What is that passion? Is that passion community? Is that passion It's finding that healing within everything that's going on. This is something that's, like I said before, this is not just a this week type of energy. This is going to be a reoccurring thing. This is going to step in every time that you are losing that grip on our mindfulness, to check back in and remember, okay, so here's the truth. This is the truth. From that truth, I'm going to step into awareness of what is. So, good or bad, this is what's happening. Now, how do I feel about it, and what can I actually do about that? And some of what you actually do creates that passion and that desire when we step into that mindfulness of, this is what I can do, this is where I can turn, this is where I can feed my energy into, and this is how I can make it, whether that be love or joy or peace or resilience, whether it's resistance, whether it's just holding your own light and your own peace and being a safe place for other people to stand. That is going to be such a magical power to have throughout these next years, throughout this theme of everything, that's going to create internal healing and external healing for the world. Is this going to happen overnight? What happens overnight? Everything changes so quickly, but at the end, true change takes time. And so that's coming into that mindfulness, that when it gets hard, when you feel like giving up, you got to check back in with that truth. What are your truths? What sustains you? What feeds you? And what creates passion and desire in you? And how can you use that magic of that passion and that fire and that drive to create healing for yourself or for your community? We're all in this together, guys. We are community. We all got to work on this together. And the more that the collective taps into that love, taps into that joy, taps into that, whether it be anger or rage or sadness, when we start tapping into that, and instead of just sitting in it and stewing in all of it, but using it to create effective change, whether it's just in our own personal life or it ripples out to everybody else. We have to start with us so that we can start rippling out. And so when the collective starts doing that more, you'll find more and more people that turn to it. And so we keep having to use, that's the power of magic, man. When we get into that mindset, more and more people will tune into it as more truth is exposed. And so just really focusing on how to keep yourself mindfulness. And so, like, I'll put a couple of examples down below for mindfulness practices. I know I've done it before, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. Beginner's mind is great, especially when we've lost the plot for a moment and we have to go back to the beginning, because sometimes when we go off on a tangent, we need something to bring us back. And it's okay if we have to start again. It's a daily practice. It's continuous practice. I have to do it myself. Other healers I know have to do it. We just have to check back in and come back to that place of finding peace, of what is, of knowing what the truth is in that moment, and then figuring out what we can do in that moment. I hope you have a beautiful week and you can create some kind of magical, powerful healing energy for yourself.